जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदान। यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Shri Radhe Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्वशे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, आज we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is verse 39th of the 10th chapter. So we will recite the verse. Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam yat okay yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam yat whatever cha also api maybe sarva bhutanam of all creations bijam seed tat that aham I am arjuna o arjuna na not tat that asti there is vina without yat which syat exists maya me bhutanam created being chara charam moving and non-moving. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me. Purport: everything has a cause and that cause or seed of manifestation is Krishna. Without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. Therefore, he is called omnipotent. Without his potency, neither the movable nor the immovable can exist. Whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, that which is not. Hare Krishna. So, this particular chapter has been named as Opulence of Krishna. This is called Vibhuti Yoga. And in this chapter, Krishna has been discussing with Arjuna about his Vibhutis. So, before we come to this verse, Arjuna has posed a question in front of Krishna in this chapter, in the 17th verse. In the 17th verse, Arjuna says that Katham Vidyamaham Yogis Tvam Sada Parichintayan Keshu Keshu Cha Bhaveshu Chintyesi Bhagavan Maya. So Arjuna is posing a question in front of Krishna in this chapter, beginning of the chapter, that, O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, Katham Vidyam Aham Yoga. He says, Krishna, you are a Supreme Mystic. How shall I constantly think of you and how shall I know you? Tvam Sada Parichintayan. And Keshu Keshu Cha Bhaveshu Chintyosi Bhagavan Maya. In what various form you are to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in answer to this question, Krishna has spoken several verses discussing how a devotee like Arjuna, who is posing a question in front of Krishna that how can I remember you always, at all point of time. To answer this question, Krishna has discussed all his opulences. That by discussing my opulences, by remembering my opulences, you can remember me. So, this is the entire chapter, 10th chapter, which is discussing the opulences of Krishna. And the question beneath all the discussion that Krishna is doing with Arjuna is remembrance of Krishna. How to remember Krishna constantly. That is why Krishna is discussing in answer to this particular question in the 10th chapter of 17th verse. So Krishna has described the list of opulences in various ways, that wherever you see any kind of opulence in this world, you can know for certain that that opulence is coming from me. And that's why in the last 4 verses, these are the last 4 verses of this chapter, where Krishna is ending his discussion by saying that Athva bahunaitena kim gyatena tavarjuna vishtabhyam idam krishnam ekanshena sthito jagat. By my single fragment of my energy, I pervade this entire universe. Oh Arjuna, what is the need of discussing my opulences? In the sense, how much can I discuss my opulences? I have already described so much. My opulences are unlimited. Yadyad vibhuti matsatvam srimad arjitam evava tattad eva avagachatvam mama tejom anshashambhava. Krishna is saying in the second last verse that wherever you see any kind of opulence, beautiful object, glorious creation, you can know for certain that that particular creation or opulence, it springs from a fragment of my opulences. So, this is the entire discussion, opulences of Krishna. And the whole discussion is centered around the remembrance of Krishna. Right? That's why in our Vedic literatures, you will find the essence of all instruction. The essence of all the Vedic literature. What is the essence of all Vedic literature? Smartavyam satatam Vishnu, vismartavyam na jatachit, sarve vidhi nishedhashyur, etayor eva kinkara. The Vedic literature say that all the things that are discussed in the Shastras, all the things that are discussed in the Vedic literature, all the rules and regulations that are given in the Vedas, Etayor iva kinkara. This is the basic principle behind all the principles that are given in our Shastra, all the rules and regulations. What is that? Smartavyo satatam Vishnu. That one should be always able to remember Krishna at all points of time. And that's why Srila Rupa Goswami also, when he comes to discuss nectar of instruction, what is nectar of instruction? Nectar of instruction is the essence of all the instructions given in all the Shastras. Nana Shastra Vicharinaika Nipuno. Our Goswamis were Nana Shastra Vicharinaika Nipun. They are very expert in finding out what is given, what is the true essence of all the Shastras. There are many people who get swayed away when they read Vedic literature, that somewhere this God is to be worshipped, somewhere someone else is to be worshipped. So people get swayed away, they don't understand what is the real meaning of the Shastra. But Srila Rupa Goswami very intelligently puts instructions of all the Shastras in just 11 verses. And that is nectar. Just like if you have to, what is essence? If you want to understand what is essence, you can take a flower. We all have seen essence. Essence comes in these small bottles. You know, you have rose essence, jasmine essence. What is that essence? How is that made? You bring thousands and thousands of flowers, take all the petals out, crush it, and out of all the 1,000 flowers, what do you get? Is this much of liquid. But how much that costs? Isn't it? So this is essence. So the essence of entire Vedic literature is Smartavyo Satatam Vishnu. That one should always be able to remember Krishna. And therefore Srila Rupa Goswami compiled a literature. That is nectar of instruction. Upadeshamrit. And in that also he says, of all the instruction that I have given in all the 11 verses, what is the essence of all the 11 verses that I have given? He says, Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishthan Vraje Tadanuragi Jananugami Kale Naeda Khilam Ityupadesha Saram. Now this is the Sara, this is the essence of all the Vedic literature. Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya. One should always try to remember Nama Rupa Charit Adi and do Kirtan. Do Kirtan of the Lord, do Kirtan of the name, form, quality, pastime of the Lord. Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrityo Kramena Rasana. One should gradually think of these name, form, qualities, pastimes of the Lord and Manasi Niyojya. One should engage one's mind and tongue while remembering the name, form, qualities, pastimes of the Lord. What else? Tishthan Vraje. One should sit in this Vrindavan. Tishthan Vraje Tad Anuragi Jananugami. And one should become Anugami. One should become a disciple of Tad Anuragi Jana. One such great exalted personality who has developed taste for Krishna's holy name, form, qualities, pastimes. So this is the essence of all Vedic literature. Here also we find Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrityo, that one should remember. So again we come to this point that all the Vedic literatures, they are pointing us to this particular instruction. And that's why Arjuna has also asked the same question, in answer to which Krishna is giving this answer. All the opulences he is discussing. Again, we come to Srimad Bhagavad Gita. What Krishna has to say in Srimad Bhagavad Gita? In Srimad Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. In the 6th chapter, 38th verse. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachamena pranashyati. Again Krishna is giving the same instruction. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, one who can always remember me, one who can always see me in all situations, at all point of time. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, he sees me everywhere, and sarvam cha mai pashyati, and he sees everything in me. Tasyaham, for that personality, na pranashyami, I am never lost. Tasyaham na pranashyami, sacha mena pranashyati, and for such a person, I am never lost. He is never lost to me. I am never lost to him. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 2nd chapter, 45th verse, Krishna is giving instructions to Uddhava. He is discussing that who is the best of all devotees, O Uddhava? Sarva bhuteshu yah pashyet bhagavad bhavam atmanah Bhutani bhagavatyatman esha bhagavatottamaha. Here also, sarva bhuteshu yah pashyet, remembering Krishna at all points of time, knowing Krishna at all points of time, seeing Krishna at all points of time. Sarva bhuteshu yah pashyet, very similar to this verse, yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna. Seeing that Krishna is the seed of all the living entities. Na tadasti vinayat syat, and without him nothing can exist. No living being, no movable, inanimate object, nothing can exist without the presence of Krishna. He is sarva karana karanam. He is the cause of all causes. And therefore in the 11th canto, 2nd chapter, 45th verse, Krishna is giving instruction to Uddhava. Sarva bhuteshu yah pashyet. In all living entities, Bhagavad Bhava Atmani, one who sees me, Bhagavad Bhava, one who can do Bhagavad Bhava by seeing all the living entities, by seeing any inanimate object. If one can have the Bhagavad Bhava that here is Krishna, if one can remember Krishna by seeing him, by seeing anything of this world, Krishna says that Bhutani Bhagavatyatman Esha Bhagavatottama. One who is seeing me like that, one who is remembering me at all points of time, he is Bhagavatottama. He is the most exalted devotee, O Uddhava. Again, Krishna is instructing us that one should always remember him. Smartabhyam satatam Vishnu. Again in Brahma Samhita, what Brahmaji has to say. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santah sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shyama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. What Brahmaji is saying, who are the real sadhus or santa? Santah sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. One who sees Krishna only once in a day. No, he says Santah Sadaiva. Sadaiva means always. Santah Sadaiva Hridayeshu. In his heart, in his mind, one is always remembering Krishna. Why? Because his heart, his eyes are tinged with the salve of love. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena. His eyes are tinged with the salve of bhakti, with salve of love, with salve of affection for Krishna. The ointment of love and affection makes a devotee on the highest position, on the highest state of devotional service to see Krishna at all points of time. Always. So in all the Shastras we can find that this is the essence of all instructions. That Smaratabhyam Satatam Vishnu. And Krishna is bound by such love. Again in Srimad Bhagavatam, in 11th canto, Krishna speaks a verse saying that one who is actually seeing me like this at all points of time, what is the status of such a devotee, such a Bhagavatottama? So Krishna says, Visrijati hridayam na yasya sakshat. For such a devotee who is trying to see Krishna at all points of time, Visrijati hridayam na yasya sakshat. Krishna resides in the heart of such a devotee. Hari, avasha abhihitopya ghoga nasha. Krishna, whose one name whose one holy name can destroy heaps and heaps of sins, sinful activities. That Supreme Lord, He resides, He says, Visrijati hridayam nayasya sakshat, in sakshat swarupa. Just like Brahmaji is saying that Yam Shyama Sundaram Achinta Guna Swarupam. That devotee, he is seeing the Shyama Sundar form of the Lord in his heart. So similarly, in the 55th verse of second chapter of 11th canto, Krishna is saying, Visrijati hridayam nayasya sakshat. Why? Because pranaya rasanaya dhritangri padma. Because that devotee binds the lotus feet of the Lord in his heart by pranaya rasanaya. Rasanaya means the ropes. The ropes of affection for Krishna binds him in the heart of such a devotee. Prem ke bas arjun ratha akyo bhul gayo thakurai, aisi anupam prem sagai. Duryodhan ko bhog na khayo, rukho sag vidur ghar khayo, aise prem pujari radhe shyam shyam shyam. So Krishna gets bound by the love and affection of his devotees, and he resides in the heart of such a devotee, one who is always thinking of him. Therefore, Bilva Mangal Thakur, he also says that, oh Krishna, you can take away your hand from me. Bilva Mangal Thakur, when he reached Vrindavan, a small boy, cowherd boy, was guiding him all along Sri Vrindavan. That small boy was no one else than Sri Shyama Sundara, Madana Mohana. He was guiding him all along, and one day Sri Bilva Mangal Thakur recognized, oh, this is Krishna. Here is Krishna. I have been with Krishna all the time. And he realized, and as he realized Krishna was walking with him, he grabbed the hand of Krishna like this, tightly. And he says, now I have caught you. Now I have caught you, my Lord. Now you cannot go away. I understood it is you who has been guiding me all along in this Vrindavan. What did Krishna do? Krishna is Chanchala Shiromani. He takes his hand away. The hand slips off. And Bilva Mangal Thakur, for a moment, he thought Krishna is gone. And as he starts to lament and Krishna is laughing at a distance, Bilva Mangal Thakur did not have eyes to see Krishna. He plucked out his eyes before coming to Vrindavan. We all know about the story. His hand taken away, Bilva Mangal Thakur, for a moment, he became depressed. But then he says, oh Krishna, you can take away your hand from me. But how will you take away your form which is residing in my heart? I have caught you in my heart. Vraje prasiddham navanita chauram. Chauragra ganyam purusham namami. So there also, the devotee who is constantly remembering Krishna, who is constantly seeing Krishna at all points of time, in every place, he binds Krishna in the heart. That is a devotee. But that platform of devotional service is Bhagavatottama, is the most exalted platform. Is the most revered platform. The platform which we all aspire for. Which a devotee who is practicing devotional service, he aspires for such a platform. When oh when that day will be mine, that I can always remember Krishna. But for us, for conditioned souls like us, who are not even able to remember Krishna while chanting his names, for us, such a position is very, very exalted. Such a position is very rare, very exalted. And we understand our utter inability to realize such Krishna's position, Krishna's presence at all points of time, seeing Krishna at all points of time, everywhere, in all living entities. At least for myself I can say that yes, such a position is very rare. But how do we go ahead then? Then Krishna comes to our help. Because he understands that not all of a sudden we can just start remembering Krishna at all points of time, in all phases of life, in all situations. In all objects we can see Krishna. We cannot do like that. Therefore, this chapter where Krishna is discussing his opulences, this is the first step in realizing Krishna. This is the first step, where Arjuna has posed a question in the 17th verse that, Krishna, tell me, how can I remember you at all point of time? So Krishna says, remember my opulences, O Arjuna, and if you remember my opulences, you can remember me at all points of time. And is there scarcity of opulences? Krishna has unlimited number of opulences. Anywhere we see, we can find Krishna's opulences. Anywhere we go, we can find that here is Krishna's opulences manifesting in front of us. Aishwaryasya samagrasya yashashash. The opulences of Krishna. The word Bhagavan itself means Bhagavan. One, just like you say Dhanavan. What is the meaning of Dhanavan? One who possesses Dhana. Viryavan. What is the meaning of Viryavan? One who possesses Virya. Therefore, what is the meaning of Bhagavan? Bhagavan means one who possesses 6 opulences. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashashashriya jnana vairagyashchaiva. The 6 opulences of Krishna. So therefore, Krishna has manifested his opulences in front of us. We cannot see the Syama Sundara formyam Syama Sundaram Achinta Gunaswarupam in our hearts at all points of time. So for us, the first step for devotees like